and welcome back to the channel and to today's reaction video. So, we have a 2020 Wrestling Observer Awards. I'm not gonna lie to you, I've never heard of this. I have never heard of this award. And I'll be honest, the reason why is because I think this is like, I don't think this is something that's been televised. I think this is something that they always, oh, by the way, if you guys don't know who I am, that's okay. Because I still quite don't know who I am either. You guys are seeing me as the Fresh Easy, but that was a character I tried to do in 2020, didn't work out, so I'm trying to rebrand, eventually re-establish myself as something else. Maybe we'll see. I have no idea just yet. But for now, we'll be doing reaction videos, and to be perfectly honest, I am doing this because sometimes I just don't want to talk about real life stuff. Like, I don't want to talk about freaking relationships, problems, and politics, whatever. I just want to sit back, look at some AEW and WWE news, and actually other indie related news. I realized that there are a lot of really good talent in the wrestling industry, and I am excited to learn more about them and see what they can bring to the table. And this is something that I have never heard of. My guess is it's because this is something that they present online, like as an article, and I didn't actually start reading sort of wrestling articles until just now, and the reason for that is because I would post videos, like actual produced videos with clips, but I know copyright's a thing and I'm not about to get into that. So this is just a channel where you guys can just sit back, listen, like read it along. Like, if you guys have never heard of this before, then that's great. You guys can experience the reaction with me. If you've already heard of this and you've already seen it, then feel free to leave your comments in the section below for what I'm going to say about these awards, because I'm gonna be honest, I am excited for this. And the fact that the title reads that the AEW dominates 2020 Wrestling Observer Awards and WWE wins some of the worst awards is gonna be interesting, because I did take a read at this already, and sort of I already have a mind as to how I'm actually going to react. So unfortunately, this isn't going to be a first time reaction, but for future reactions, I'm going to try and make sure it's the first time. This just intrigued me so much that I just forgot to press the record button before I started reading. So the awards are based, and it's the 41st annual. Holy crap. Like, they've been doing this for 41 straight years, I'm going to assume. And my guess is it's always been published online every time. I don't think they do a televised or even on YouTube. So that's probably why I've never heard of this. So, yeah. So it is based on the time period from January 1st, 2020 through December 31st, 2020, which I'm not going to lie to you guys, it's been a blur. So hopefully I remember everything, but that's not likely because, 2020 just went by so slow. I just wanted to forget about it. Each category is voted on by the readers of the Wrestling Observer newsletter. Okay, which explains, I've never heard of it because I'm not an active reader of it, which is unfortunate. I think I might take a read on it maybe in the future, but who knows? Which includes fans and various people in the pro wrestling business. Now, I can already see why WWE is getting some of the worst awards, is because people who probably read the Wrestling Observer newsletter are fans that are, okay, I don't want to say the term casual, but obviously, when we're talking casual, like, we can relate it to like the NBA, right? Like, people know who LeBron James is, Steph Curry lately, but like, for those who actually try and analyze the entire scope of the business or the field, then that's probably why I've never read the Observer newsletter, because I will admit I was a casual in the 2010s. It's just now that finally that AEW is coming out, that's when I'm finally starting to see and be more interested in the outside scope of just the WWE. So not only did AEW have the most winners this year, but they dominated the list of top 9 runner-ups in all positive awards. WWE dominated the list of negative award winners and runner-ups. Some of the positive categories featured none, just 1 or 2 WWE nominees. Below are the 2020 award winners for the Pro Wrestling Awards announced in today's issue. So let's take a look. So we have the Ric Flair Award, Lou Tez. I remember this name, I just can't remember why. Wrestler of the Year goes to Jon Moxley. Okay, this is interesting because I would put Drew McIntyre here. And, like, again, that could just be because I did watch AEW in 2020. I know that Jon Moxley became the world champion, but so did Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre, he was put over by Brock Lesnar. Like, Brock Lesnar was a fan of this guy. I mean, seeing all of the stuff that Brock Lesnar has allowed him to do, like eliminate him from the Royal Rumble, beat him at WrestleMania, put him over on the Raw segment in between. And Drew McIntyre went on to actually have a pretty good run as WWE champion. So this is a toss-up between Drew McIntyre and Jon Moxley. I could see a case for either or. Jon Moxley really shined when he beat Chris Jericho for the World Championship, and he went on to defend it in some pretty good matches. I loved this match with MJF. I loved their promos going up to it. You know, the whole presidential campaign themed gimmick build up to their match. That was great. And I don't know if he lost it. See, the thing is, that's what I'm saying. 2020 has been a blur for me. I think he lost it to Kenny Omega either at the end of 2021, at the beginning of 2021 or the end of 2020. It's one of the two. Because it's going all the way up to December 31st, that could apply. But I mean, even then, it was still a pretty good run. It was a good world champion. But personally, I would go Drew McIntyre. But you can go either way. I wouldn't hate you for it. Most outstanding wrestler, the current AEW world champion Kenny Omega. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like he started to be more noticed when he had that character change, when he went to his retro, sort of bringing back signs of the cleaner, when he clearly dominated Sonny Kiss in his preliminary matchups and, you know, made that nice little meme face, which I should start using more often, whether it's on Instagram posts, Twitter posts, or this, because that face is just a meme. It's just so funny. But I love his entrance. And eventually him leading up to beating Jon Moxley for the World Championship definitely shows the change of character, sort of went back to sort of that cleaner theme. Not really though, because he obviously made it more modern. He didn't want to obviously just make it just about the cleaner. But, you know, it was a good change for Kenny Omega. So, I mean, outstanding wrestlers, again, I don't want to put Drew McIntyre here because, you know, I already put him up for the Wrestler of the Year award. So yeah, I don't mind I don't hate Kenny Omega being on this pedestal. Tag Team of the Year, the Young Bucks. I mean, WWE doesn't care about its tag team division. It's kind of unfortunate that it doesn't, because I think there's just some pretty special tag teams that can do like so many good combo moves. Like, yeah, the Revival was such a good one. I'm happy that they're in AEW as the FTR. But yeah, the Young Bucks were always pretty exciting to watch. And I'm pretty happy with them getting Tag Team of the Year. Unfortunately, the Usos were injured. Otherwise, they would have been in contention up there. I believe the New Day broke up towards the end, but New Day, you could say New Day could be here as well as current it's the Tag Team of the Year. But yeah. Best on Interviews, Eddie Kingston. I'm not gonna lie, I can't say much about the Best of Interviews because I can already tell by the way Eddie Kingston talks that, yeah, I can see him getting an award like this. I just haven't seen enough of his interviews. Again, I watch AEW on YouTube. I don't really watch it on television. Same with WWE. So, you know. Promotion of the Year, AEW. See, now, I can definitely see this, you know, considering that WWE has just been... There's always been, you know, people who just hate on WWE a lot. Yeah, there are stuff they're doing wrong, but you know, it's not like they're doing everything wrong. But you know, if AEW doing most things right, again, they're giving wrestlers the more creative freedom. Now, the funny thing about this is, if there's a character that ends up being absolute garbage, then it's gonna be on them. It ain't gonna be on management. It ain't gonna be on Tony Khan. It's gonna be mostly on the wrestlers because they're the ones that come up with these gimmicks. You know, but you know, they're doing pretty well, so I do enjoy that. Best weekly TV show, AEW Dynamite. If Roman Reigns was the tribal chief in the beginning of 2020, I would give it to SmackDown. Hands down, go to SmackDown. I would say AEW Dynamite and then NXT will probably be a close contention, just because I feel like in terms of how they portray the show seems almost similar. They're very wrestling focused, but NXT just has a bit of that advantage because they have stars like Finn Balor, Adam Cole. I think Damian Priest was still there at the time. Karrion Kross now, so they have some pretty good star power, but so does AEW Dynamite, so I can definitely either or with AEW Dynamite or NXT. I would put SmackDown up in there for that debate if Roman Reigns was the tribal chief towards the beginning of 2020. Pro Wrestling Match of the Year, we have the Young Bucks versus Adam Page and Kenny Omega at AEW Revolution. I believe this was when... I think this is how the Young Bucks won their tag team championships. So, yeah, I mean, that's a bold one, actually, because you got Drew McIntyre versus Brock Lesnar, which, again, that almost looks like it's a squash match. Yeah, I mean, actually, I would probably do this. Again, depending on when Kenny Omega won the world title. If it was in 2020, I could see that one as well. Jon Moxley versus MJF was also a pretty good match. But you know, how do you put a criteria on Pro Wrestling Match of the Year, right? Like best in-ring work, best chemistry, best build-up. Like if it's a mixture of everything, then it's been kind of tough because, like I said, 2020 has been such a blur. But yeah, I can totally see that. I did actually see this match. I was actually impressed with it. But again, I'm trying to look at potential other candidates, right? United States slash Canada MVP, Jon Moxley. Wow, okay. I mean, Jon Moxley was just super popular with the fans. I mean, it's a story of like wanting to leave WWE to pursue creative freedom, and you know, here he is. He's doing very well for himself. He's been world champion last year, and that's great, honestly. So is this what does this mean then? What is I don't understand what this award means. Like, does that just say the best wrestler in North America or something? I mean, I guess you don't include Mexico, but like, I don't understand what this title means or what this award means. Japanese MVP. I wish I could say more about this, but I just don't know enough about Japanese wrestling yet. If you guys have any like clips or want me to watch any sort of wrestlers and get my opinions on them, then definitely let me know in the comment section below, and I will take a look at that. Tetsuya Naito. I do know this name. I believe he's in New Japan, I think, but yeah, I have seen this guy before. Mexico MVP, Rey Fenix. Honestly, Rey Fenix, I like the push that he's getting. It's not a big push, but like he got that mini push when he challenged Kenny Omega for the World Championship, but that's just this year. But I see a lot of talent in Rey Fenix. I can't wait to see more of him in 2021. I think his brother's injured at the moment, Pentagon Jr., so I think he is currently flying solo. Don't take my word on that, but I can't remember now. But yeah, so Rey Fenix has been getting the single spotlight a bit more, so I'm pretty excited. Europe MVP, UK champion Walter. Man, I am not about to take slaps from Walter. Like if anyone gets this Europe MVP, freaking Walter's gonna slap him out of the pedestal, and he's gonna freaking put himself up there and be like, I am the Euro. I'm not gonna copy the accent because I don't know how. I'm gonna be up there, and he is the UK champion, so of course. And I think he's had that for more than. Is he coming up to 2 years now? Like, when did he beat Pete Dunne for this title? Jeez, I can't even remember. I swear it's been like 2 years, almost 2 years. So good for him. The non-heavyweight MVPs. So again, I don't know much about Japanese wrestling, obviously apart from those that are in AEW. But like I said, right, I'm not afraid to admit that I'm a bit of a casual, and there's a reason why I've never seen this until now. But I think it's gonna make me pay more attention to, again, the indie scene, Japanese wrestling. Like, there's a reason Jon Moxley said that he wanted to go to New Japan before AEW was a thing. Because when he quit WWE, he was gonna leave whether or not AEW was established or on the verge of. He wanted to go to Japan. And yeah, women's wrestling MVP Bayley. Now this is a good one. I like Bayley's character change and development. She is just a really good heel. Even the change with her getting her haircut in the theme song and her winning the SmackDown Women's Championship and eventually turning on Sasha Banks, and they had a pretty good feud. And yeah, I don't disagree with this. I actually like this. Hikaru Shida, she's been AEW Women's Champion for a while, but like I feel like apart from matches, she doesn't have an established storyline. Like, I want to see her have a month or 2 month long feud with another AEW wrestler. She's just fighting various superstars. Like, I know Serena Deeb, she is also a women's champion in her own right. But, well, from a different company. I don't think she has ever been AEW Women's Champion. But I'd love to see them feud, honestly. Like, that would be a lot of fun to watch, in my opinion. Serena Deeb is very talented in the best box office draw, Conor McGregor. I mean, sure. I don't quite remember what he did. I'm not gonna lie, because like I said, 2020 was such a blur. But I'm gonna agree with this one. Sorry, my head's just kind of itchy. I'm not bored or anything. Feud of the year: Jon Moxley versus Eddie Kingston. I'm gonna be honest. Eddie Kingston looks kind of awkward. I don't know, when he wrestles. Like, obviously he doesn't have the same physique as most other wrestlers. But again, you got Jon Moxley's hardcore, hard-hitting style, and you got Eddie Kingston who's good on the mic. He's got help from Butcher and the Blade. I think Eddie Kingston is just a good strategist. I think if they have just expressed that a bit more, obviously probably not giving him the World Championship, but still. Yeah, so honestly, I can't think of other feuds on top of my head. Like, again, the Drew McIntyre versus Brock Lesnar wasn't really much of a feud. I mean, it was a decent one from Royal Rumble to WrestleMania, but then since then, Drew McIntyre hasn't really had anything. The Roman Reigns just came too late in the year for him to be considered for most of these. Otherwise, I would put him or SmackDown like him versus Kevin Owens. I would say is a better feud than Jon Moxley versus Eddie Kingston if they did it more in 2020. You know, because right now they're still kind of feuding in a sense. Like their feud went up to the Royal Rumble. I think it started in like November, so they only had sort of a month showcase in the Wrestling Observer Awards scope. Most improved, Britt Baker. I will agree with this one. I've seen Britt Baker get more TV time. She's good on the mic. She knows how to, make people hate her. It's great. It's great. I also like the way she's introduced, like Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and it's pretty cool. I think she doesn't run AEW Dark, but I know she appears on some segments in there, which is pretty cool. And I like how her sort of waiting room at the dentist office was sort of used as a way for Cody Rhodes and Jade Cargill and I believe he also introduced, I forgot her name, but it's gonna be his partner for when he takes on Shaq, and I think it's Red Velvet. I think it's Red Velvet. Take on Shaq and Jade. So that's pretty cool. So I don't disagree with this. I actually like it. Most charismatic MJF. I'm not gonna say anymore. You guys know that I'm a big. Well, you don't know, but you will know that I'm a big MJF fan. He is definitely charismatic. He knows how to make people hate him. And he just his witty comebacks. I love that he does that. I still remember the one where I think there was a segment in the Inner Circle where Chris Jericho brought up that there's this place that has some good food, and then people were booing him, and MJF's like, "You guys are booing food?" That was great. I remember that. That was great. And of course, his various promos obviously were very excellent. I remember his presidential candidacy sort of theme going up to his match against Jon Moxley. That was also exciting and fun. He also managed to include all of the staff that were with him, including the girl's smile, always trying to make her smile, and then eventually telling her to girl, screw off because he didn't win the championship and now he no longer needs them, so they're all fired. So that's great. I love MJF winning the most charismatic. He will be best rest. He will be. This is not even a hot take. MJF's gonna be here. He is gonna be here. Not long. That's not even gonna be a hot take. It's not even a prediction. It's a spoiler alert. I've spoiled all of you, so if you guys did watch this video, you have just been spoiled. And the last one, we have the best technical wrestler going to Zack Sabre Jr. I know this guy. I've seen a couple matches, but unfortunately, I can't say too much. To if I'm thinking technical, it's Chad Gable has more of an amateur wrestler lifestyle. He definitely reminds me, but then again, that's just a casual fan in me speaking. That's why I don't want to say too much. I just don't think I've seen enough indies. Never mind, that is not the last one. There's just an ad in between. We're gonna be here for at least another 10 minutes, so bear with me. Best brawler, Jon Moxley. Yes, he is a very good straight up just brawl fighter. I love watching his hardcore style match. He almost doesn't really remind me of The Undertaker, but Undertaker's a very good striker, but he's not really considered a brawler. If anything, I'd probably compare him closer to Bad News Barrett. He was a bare knuckle brawler, just the way he fights. But Jon Moxley's more scrappy. He's very scrappy, more hardcore style, so it's great. Best flying wrestler, Rey Fenix. Arguably could give this to Ricochet. Or actually, Grand Metalik, I don't think he's had enough featured matches. But Rey Fenix, again, because of his, singles push towards the end of the year, plus his various tag team matches with his brother. So, he could go either way. Most overrated, Bray Wyatt, huh? I mean, yeah, I could see this for sure. I think ever since he got, he didn't really get, when he got buried, killed off, his character, because of the stuff that he did even before that, it just kind of went downhill. Most underrated, Ricochet. I don't know. I kind of want to give this to Cesaro. Just because Cesaro, Ricochet doesn't really have a character. He's a very skilled fighter, but Cesaro, I don't know. Something just tells me I think Cesaro should have gotten most underrated. I feel like Cesaro might have gotten most underrated in the previous years. Maybe that's why they don't want to give it to him anymore and give it to someone else. But yeah, Ricochet is very talented in the ring. I just think if he has a character, and I think he should be a heel character. I could see him joining Mustafa Ali in Retribution. and them forming a very strong tag team with help from, T-Bar, Mace, Reckoning, Slapjack. So, yeah, either or, but I don't know. I kind of preferred Cesaro. Rookie of the Year, Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee on the mic is so annoying, and I love it. I love that he's annoying on the mic. He is a heel for that reason, and it's great. It's great. I love it. I love this. Rookie of the Year. He's a former football player, I believe. Best non-wrestler, Taz. I don't know. I could give it to Paul Heyman. But again, it could be one of those cases where maybe Paul Heyman's gotten this award so many times, similar to maybe how Cesaro's gotten this award so many times. Maybe they want to give it to someone else. But Taz is doing a good job with Team Taz, of course, with Brian Cage, Will Hobbs. I don't know. I think they call him Powerhouse Hobbs now. I think they changed his name. Ricky Starks. So it's great. I don't hate this, but I don't know. Paul Heyman could be back there too, with being Brock Lesnar's advocate, of course. Again, it's one of those cases where maybe he's gotten it so many times. Best TV announcer, Excalibur. I feel like I just don't. Are they saying commentator? Maybe this could mean also commentator. Yeah, Excalibur. I mean, if anything, I feel like I hear Tony Schiavone more than I hear Excalibur. But maybe it's just because Tony Schiavone's just a bit louder, in my opinion. I don't know. He's more expressive, I guess. I would say Tony Schiavone's the Michael Cole of AEW in terms of status, position, the way they talk in a sense. But yeah, Excalibur's also pretty good too. So Samoa Joe is also pretty funny. Like, I would have loved to see Samoa Joe in this. It's like, he's great. Like, I think if he had those like witty remarks and just funny, like if he was a heel commentator or even a face, honestly, like just hearing him be savage on, the faces or heels depending on what side he's on, I think that would have gone to Samoa Joe. Worst TV announcer, Michael Cole. I mean, he's been around for 20 something years. Honestly, like, yeah, he is a face commentator technically, but yes, he's not the best anymore. Best major wrestling show, AEW Revolution pay-per-view. Is this when Jon Moxley won his world title? Gosh, again, all these matches are so blurred in my head. Like, we're gonna look up Revolution AEW 2020, not 2021. That will be coming up. We will be reacting to that really soon. I think this was when Jon Moxley won his world title. Yes, this was an exciting match. This was also when Pac took on Orange Cassidy. That's what I'm saying. I wanted to put that as the best match of the year because that was just great. The best match of the year. I thought about that, but I didn't know if that was 2019 or 2020. But yes, I 100% agree with this Revolution because those had two very good matches. MJF versus Cody as well in that match. That build-up was great. Again, I don't remember these happening in I thought these were 2019 or something. It was so long and it was so like such a blur that I just wanted to forget about it. But like, yeah, this was great. I enjoyed. Yeah, this was a good pay-per-view. Great pay-per-view. Worst major wrestling show, Super Showdown's just, I don't know. I think this was the one where there was a controversy about wrestlers not being able to come back because of some disagreement. So yeah, I don't want to talk about it. Best wrestling maneuver, I love the One Wing Angel. The One Wing Angel is such a good wrestling maneuver. Plus, I've played the Final Fantasy series, so Final Fantasy VII was great. So I love that not only did he name it after Sephiroth, but it is also a very good wrestling maneuver. It's unique. It's great. You could put the Claymore up. Again, I'm just a Drew McIntyre junkie, I think. I don't know, but I don't know. I like the Claymore too. Most disgusting promotional tactic was when they fired a lot of people who are doing well for themselves. Like EC3 is doing well in Ring of Honor and Impact. I think he made a couple appearances in Impact. Drake Maverick, I think, came back after being fired. No Way Jose, I guess he's gone. Haven't heard of him. Heath is an Impact. Brian Myers is also an Impact, so they're doing pretty well for themselves. They were doing it in a pandemic during a year where they were setting profit records. I mean, at the time, yes, but I don't know if Vince McMahon was looking towards like the future. Maybe they're just seeing that maybe it could fall off, I guess. But I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, I do agree. I'm just saying from a personal standpoint, I don't know how I feel about them actually doing this. But yeah, worst TV show, Raw. Yeah, I'm gonna agree. Worst match of the year, Swamp Fight from the horror show at Extreme Rules. That didn't put it up for me, so I actually agree with that. Worst for the first feud of the I think that was also the build up when they used Alexa Bliss to try and get in Braun Strowman's head, and of course she eventually got into the Fiendess, right? Worst feud of the year, yep, I guess you can also put these together, that's fine. Worst promotion of the year, I don't know, I mean, that's tough, because what do you mean by worst promotion? Because like there's so many wrestling promotions, like this almost looks like a WWE versus AEW face-off when it comes to this. Like, you say best out of two major wrestling promotions and worst out of, I don't know, this seems kind of I don't know about this, I just don't know. Best booker and promoter of the year goes to Tony Khan. Honestly, like Tony Khan, it's because he is such a fan of wrestling, I think, that like he embraces that. He embraces the fact that he's a fan of professional wrestling. Totally the opposite of Vince McMahon. Like Tony Khan just like he talks to them. I think so, because I think I've gotten this from various interviews with AEW. Like when I watch them interview, I don't interview anybody. Who knows? But yeah, they always talk about how Tony Khan talks like he's a fan of wrestling, and I think that's great. Like, you want that in a boss, right? You want someone who is passionate about the industry, and Tony Khan is such a big wrestling fan that, you know, I totally agree with this. This is actually really good. Best gimmick, Orange Cassidy, 100%. I don't care who else had a good gimmick. I don't care about the Tribal Chief. I don't care about I don't want to say MJF, but like, is he really a gimmick? This is going to Orange Cassidy. Like, I gotta give this Orange I love his gimmick, man. His character's the best. Worst gimmick, The Fiend. See, The Fiend was good. Like, he was okay. Like, but then again, at the same time, it's like, what other gimmicks are there? Like, is Braun Strowman's not that good? 2020 kind of killed him in a sense. Ricochet doesn't even have a gimmick, so I can't really put him in there. So that's a tough one. But I guess because of like how The Fiend was portrayed in the year, I can see that as well. Best pro wrestling book, The Young Bucks killing the business from the backyards to the big leagues. Oh, pro wrestling book. Oh, it's sort of not a documentary, but like sort of I guess a written book. Yeah, sure. I have not read it. Maybe I'll look up maybe a premise, or maybe I'll even read the book. We'll see. But if it won the pro wrestling book, then maybe it's worth a read. And best pro wrestling documentary, Dark Side of the Ring with Owen Hart. Interesting. So that's all the awards from the Wrestling Observer of this year. Like I said, the casual wrestler in me just didn't know that these existed. So I'm kind of happy that I've discovered it and gave you guys my take. I didn't expect it to be this long of a video, but I just think that I had a lot to say. So let me know what you guys thought about it in the comment section below. Leave a like if you guys did enjoy this video, of course, and subscribe to the channel if you are new, and if you're interested in, you know, engaging in more conversation to reactions to news such as this. I'll be doing the SmackDown ratings reaction tomorrow. Well, I'll record it tonight, but it'll be up tomorrow along with this video. So I'm going to be signing out, and I'll catch you guys in the next reaction.